future will do the best for you. And I believe that we have the power, have the power. I hate the state, and I know I'm a slave. We can make a break the power, break the power.
Hello, this is Matt Bergman, and you are listening to the Punk Rock Libertarians podcast, episode 58. I'm here tonight with Jared Schneiderman.
Hey.
And Alexis Schlegel.
What's up, Matt?
Is everything okay, dude?
Yeah, it's good,
Yeah.
man. Just,
Are you looking at wieners over there?
no, I was just checking the docs.
Checking the docs.
Okay.
Okay.
Docs.
You got the docs on
Google
your phone?
Docs.
Yeah, make sure I got it all here.
Cool. Sweet.
All right.
Yeah.
So, did you guys see
The Trump Taco Bowl?
the Trump Taco Bowl? Dude, the best comment I heard on that was, it was even Trump's tacos have walls. It was like this giant taco ball. Oh, man.
Dude, he's the biggest fucking troll.
Dude, he has got to be trolling, dude.
He's just yeah.
I mean, that's brilliant, dude. It's brilliant. It's brilliant troll right there.
Yeah.
Brilliant trolling.
How good do you think those Taco Bells are, though? Or like the
Taco
Taco
Bells?
Bowls? The Taco Bowls.
Probably not that great.
I thought it looked pretty good.
I don't know. That's like too much. There's too much going on with that thing, man. I like a nice soft taco.
Yeah, a nice soft flaccid taco.
Nice flaccid taco with some spicy meat. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's pretty funny how it's somebody can be so obvious about it. You know what I mean? And be this is the person who's like the number one Republican candidate.
Right.
And he can just it's just I don't know. It's hysterical. And it's funny. Like I shared it on Facebook, and then somebody commented, and I agree with them totally. And they're like, somebody commented like, oh, and your standard politician, smooth talking politician has done so well.
What do you mean?
It's basically like when you rag on Trump, and it's like.
What are they comparing him to? Somebody who's like more?
Yeah, well, it's just like any other like politician,
He's doing the same thing. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Or are you saying he's doing it more creatively by just like being completely brash about it?
Like it's weird because it's so obvious, but yet it's so creative too. I don't know.
Yeah, it's almost like there's some section of people that are like, oh yeah, like look, he likes the Mexicans. He's eating a taco.
Yeah,
Clearly
he's
he
like,
likes Mexicans.
What did he say? He said, "I love Hispanics."
Yeah.
Or was it?
Or no, he said Mexicans.
Was it?
No, I
I
think he said Hispanics. I love
Hispanics.
Hispanics.
Dude.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like saying I love Hispanics is just as bad as saying I hate Hispanics. You know what I mean? 'Cause it's kind of like
You're just saying you love a certain group of people.
I know. It's just
no...
like, and when you talk about any group in general, it's like obviously in any group there's going to be cool people. There's going to be assholes. There's
right.
And everything in between. And to say that you love the entire group, isn't that just as bad as saying you hate the entire group?
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, and that sort of relates to like all the stuff like the regressive left has been doing with just like always falling on the side of like people of color or defending Muslims or whatever, regardless of like the actual facts of whatever the individual person has done. Just because they're a certain color, though. Even though it's like, I guess on the positive side, it's still just as racist as saying, well, all blacks are just out there murdering people. You know?
I mean, it's positive racism.
Right. Yeah, that's a good term for it.
Positive.
He said,
it's positively racist.
It was Happy Cinco de Mayo. The best taco bowls are made in Trump Tower Grill. I love Hispanics! Exclamation point.
Man, I wonder if the
how many
people
Hispanics do you
making
think he has employed there?
I know, dude. And are they legal?
Yeah.
Probably not.
Probably not.
I mean, it's great
Although,
when he came out, when he was saying we're going to put a tariff on any goods coming in from Mexico. And it's just like, dude, isn't your line of clothing made in Mexico? Probably. When that came out months ago.
What, the Make America Great hats are from Mexico?
Well, no, like he has like
Those are from
apparently.
China, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, definitely.
We also want to put a tariff on
Dude,
their
speaking
goods.
of that, I saw this one dude rocking. It looks like the Trump hat, but it says "Make taxation theft again."
You saw him in person?
No, it was like popped up in my newsfeed. I was like, "Fuck yeah!" Like I want that hat.
Taxation theft
Yeah, that's pretty amazing.
But no, it came out like months ago, where basically, Trump's basically advocating tariffs for any goods coming in from Mexico, and come to find out, like his line of clothing, I guess he has neckties and dress like suits. Like I don't know who makes them, but they have like Trump's signature collection, and they're all made in Mexico.
I'm amazed that I didn't hear about that.
Yeah, like it was. Oh man, it was a while back. Well, not a while back, but it was
long enough to forget.
Yeah, for the
Long enough to
24-hour
smoke enough
news
weed to
cycle.
forget.
But anywho,
I mean, that's not surprising though. I mean, he's not a man of principle by any means.
What are you talking about, dude?
That's why it's like, what do we get if we get Trump in the office? Like, what do we get? Like, we don't know. Like, anything he says could be completely false or completely true.
Dude, that is what I've been saying this entire time,
And, like, I can't believe all these libertarians are taking him, like, at his word. Well, I mean, look, I've defended the guy on, like, what he says about foreign policy, but I don't know that I believe that he's going to do any of it.
Exactly. Yeah. Dude, that's exactly.
And the people that are, like, spending all this time and effort to campaign for him that are on the libertarian side, it's like, dude, do you really believe that he's going to do the things that he says he's going to do?
I told you so to so many people. It's going to be so funny.
I hope not, man.
dude, because at least like Ron Paul, Ron Paul backed it up with like a voting record, and also his
but also just a lifetime of like championing liberty.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And advocating, these principles.
I mean, you can pretty much find any quote that Trump's ever said on either side of whatever the argument is.
All right, you can find the opposite. Exactly. Yeah.
It's like, I'm sure you could make a video of him just debating with himself.
Right.
Which you can also do with Hillary Clinton. I think I saw
You can pretty much do that with probably every politician.
You do it
probably like 90% of them, yeah.
Yeah.
At least.
Yeah, Trump's like the anti-politician politician.
Okay. What does that mean?
I don't know. I mean, he's kind of the anti-politician, but then he just does everything the politicians do.
Oh, yeah, so he's like a bizarro version of a politician. It's like you do things that normally would get you... You do things that would normally get you, like, kicked out of a race.
Speaking to the microphone, dude. Pretend it's a mushroom tip.
Sensual with it. But you get... mushroom tip. Anyway, so yeah, with Trump, you get basically the opposite of what any normal politician would do, but it has the same effect, essentially. To just confuse and mislead.
Yep.
So, are you snoring? Is that...
That's Stella.
Okay. Poor Stella over there.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's like with... I always go back and forth on like Trump and Hillary. I've never voted for a Republican or a Democrat in a presidential election, like ever. But I often think about like, well, if somebody had a gun to my head, who would I choose? Choose. Okay, so a little blazed. It's like with Hillary, at least you know what you're getting.
Right.
It's
But you know that you're
get a
getting
whole lot more of the same, and you hate her, but at least you know what you're getting. Like with Trump, I feel like it could totally just go either way. It's like you said. It's like you like how he sounds more non-interventionist, but at the same time, it could mean World War III.
Yeah, I mean, like it could be
what you're going to get with Trump.
The thing is, a thing that I don't think a lot of the libertarians are talking about who support him is that it might not be physical war that we go into, but it could be economic war. If he starts throwing all these tariffs around and like trying to bully around China or...
Well, I mean, I think that could lead into a physical war.
Yeah, but... Right, yeah, that's what I'm saying, but... it's not the same as like starting more wars in the Middle East. It's a different...
Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean,
I'm not saying
it could be because right now,
well, I'm just
we're
saying it's
buying a lot of Chinese shit, so they have like big reason, not to want to come over here and fuck with us, Whereas if we were buying considerably less of their stuff to the point where their economy started to suffer, then maybe they would. Would want, you know.
I'm just saying it's a different type of situation. I'm not saying it's better or worse. In fact, it'd be a lot worse because they actually have like real weapons, not like 30-year-old AKs.
Man, dude, just think about all the money that would be freed up if we didn't spend so much on our military. You know, and if we just left that into the private sector.
Yeah. Or or the money spent on welfare, or the money spent.
I don't know. I mean, it's
taxes
like even fucking welfare. Okay, you know, I don't know. I kind of think like libertarians kind of. You know, I don't think the welfare state should be the first thing that we bash.
No,
it's like, you know, I mean, I feel like, you know.
Yeah, I mean, if I was going to peel back,
stop talking about it.
I mean, if I was going to peel back all the layers of government, the welfare state would probably be one of the last ones.
Exactly, but I mean, dude, by the time you got rid of the corporate welfare state, and you know, you cut like as far as military spending goes, we spend as much as the top 9 countries in the world combined.
More than that, I think, I've heard 16.
I've heard between 5 and 9.
I've heard 9.
Okay,
it's a lot though.
Yeah, I heard 9, and that was recently. So you know, that's a lot of fucking money that we don't need to spend. And you think about where our military are in the places where we don't need to be. We don't fucking still need like bases and troops in fucking Germany, you know? I mean, and what is it, Japan, you know? And then you've got all this policing over in the Middle East, like, you know, thousands of miles away from us, you know, and
dude, most Americans are so oblivious to it. Like, when I tell them about my time in the Air Force and like, you were stationed in England? It's like, yeah, we still have like 20-some thousand active duty military stationed within like maybe a 10-mile radius at two major bases, and then you have dependent. I mean, it's just fucking ridiculous. The base I was stationed at had 3 squadrons of F-15s. We're talking like fucking 100 F-15s flying every fucking day.
Concerned that like England's going to come back for the colonies?
Well, you know, in case like the Luftwaffe comes over that. Oh wait, no, we're stationed in Germany. Well, you know, if they fly over the English Channel, you know, we might. No, I mean, basically, it's all NATO. It's all like these fucking treaties. Like, oh, we're, you know, all these Cold War treaties that should have just been abolished and like just gone away after like the collapse of the Soviet Union.
Right.
And it's just, and a lot of times we're just deploying out of there to the Middle East, you know, just it's just the war machine, you know, and it's like it like, I don't know, it's so crazy. Like, I mean, we still have a base in Italy. We have 2 major Air Force bases in Germany. We have like 3 major Air Force bases in England. Like, it's just insane. Like, you know, and you talk to your average American, you know, they don't realize this, and they're like, "What? You were stationed in England? Well, what are we still doing over there?" And it's like, fuck if I know, you know,
right?
I can't. It's just maintaining empire, you know. But, and then not to mention some of the bases that are you know, hush hush, or, you know, like, I mean, it's insane. So majority of Americans aren't even aware of this, you know, and then they don't understand the difference between defense spending, you know, or militarism, you know. Like, there's a huge difference between like, all right, protecting our shores and protecting our country than policing the world, you know.
Right.
But anyway,
you know, I still think my hatred for Hillary Clinton is greater than my fear of Trump.
Yeah. Did you just come to that?
yeah.
Come to that realization?
I don't know.
On the last
it's
hit?
basically like, I don't know. I just really hate Hillary Clinton. With Trump, it's like, I don't know. We'll just take a gamble. You know, it's not that. Once again, it's not that I'm endorsing voting for him. I'm not. There's no way in fuck I'd ever vote for the man.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just saying, like, and you know, if you had a gun to my head and you made me choose one or the other, you know. You know.
Yeah, I hear you, man. I mean, I don't know. It's really sad that we have to be in this kind of position, you know. Although, are we never really in this position? Are we never not really in this position?
I would agree. You know, I think this is like the most extreme. You know, but it seems to get worse and worse every time.
Yeah. All right. Let's move on to some sexual assault news.
Fucking hell.
So it's not really that funny, to be honest, but a student at Red Mountain High School in Arizona has been charged with 69 counts of indecent exposure.
69.
69 for taking a yearbook photo with his wiener out.
Like,
but seriously though, this is pretty fucking ridiculous.
Seriously.
yeah. So
I mean, here's a kid. I think he was 18, but I mean,
he was 18 at the time. He's 19 now. Now, whether or not, I guess he's out of high school.
I would
guess he's
hope
out.
so.
Yeah. Yeah.
Alex with the docs.
Yeah. So, so apparently, the high school yearbook was published. The football program was published. It's a team photo. He's in the center, and he basically just has his dick out. And everything was published. It went unnoticed for months after in both publications, and yet I guess it was discovered. And so the school district called the police, and he's facing 69 counts of exposing his, because
there were 69 other people in the photos.
Yeah, apparently, yeah. There was like 68 other teammates or 70 other teammates. So I guess excluding him,
right?
So it's ridiculous. And then he's facing, because it's on school property, he's probably facing felony. He's going to have to probably register, if he's charged, he's probably going to have to register as a sex offender because he exposed himself on school property.
And he was 18.
Well,
and
not
he
if
was
he's charged, but he was convicted, right?
Right. No, it's still ongoing. So like in the statement, Mesa Public School spokeswoman said the district is dismayed by the action of the students involved in the photograph. Their behavior does not reflect the values of Red Mountain High School or Mesa Public Schools. But like when I heard about this on the radio the other day, it was actually on Sports Talk Radio of all. We were talking about it
Alex
on.
was like, I used to let my dick hang out all the time at school.
Yeah, like wow, like good looking,
I wonder what Ted Cruz thinks about all this.
Huh?
I wonder what Ted Cruz thinks about all this.
Why?
I mean, he's got values. Dude.
I mean, it's just fucking
You should
insane.
feel sorry for the guy, dude. He's probably offended.
It's like how much all right, how much dumb shit did you do in high school?
Me?
Yeah.
No, dude, I was fucking genius, dude.
Really? I mean,
Yeah, dude.
you never were dared to do anything. Like it's just insane. Like
I did all sorts of
the
stupid
nanny
shit.
state and the police
Yes.
state we live in. That
I used
the
to climb
school.
around in the ceiling.
What's that? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just insane. Like this kid's life is going to be potentially ruined because of a dare. Like his teammates dared him. Like, hey man, hey, whip your dick out for the team photo. Okay, and then basically, like this kid's life
His
is going to be
teammates
ruined.
dared him?
Yeah, he was dared. He was dared
Dude,
to do it.
that's even like more like it kind of he's more innocent, dude. Because if it's like a dare, dude, you can't say no to a dare, dude.
No, you can't.
Fucking bullshit.
Yeah, especially if
at
it's
that
like,
age.
and especially if it's like a double dog.
I mean-
like I triple dog dare you.
Yeah, dude. What if they got? Like, how many dogs do you think they got on that?
Yeah,
thing,
Dude, they should go after the kids that dared him, really.
Right.
You know,
I mean-
because like if they didn't dare,
They're at
him,
least abetting, dude. They're at
probably
least abetting the crime.
yeah, dude.
Right. I mean,
they're
the least.
conspirators, dude.
it's like when is it?
Conspirators.
It's just so insane, like public schools, how they've just turned like any little incident or anything. It's like call the cops, arrest this. It's like how would you be a fucking adult and call this kid in
Dude.
and be like, look, dude, guess what?
Dude,
Like,
imagine if he was also holding his hand in the shape of a gun. He could have
Oh
been
my
charged
God,
with,
like, it's
possession
just-
of a deadly weapon.
yeah, I mean, it's just insane. Like how far we and clearly, okay, all right, all laws are not all law, but like you always have your politicians that go to wherever the state capital or DC, and everything's always out of best intentions, but it always seems like everything just slips out of control.
What's the best intention of this, though?
Well, I mean,
Protect
clearly
people
it's
from
like all
wiener
right,
pics?
we don't. I mean,
It's
All
one
right.
thing if he's like going to the girls' locker room and like whipping his junk out.
right, exactly,
Sup,
or doing
girls?
something. Yeah, but it's like, but that's the thing. Like it's just.
I mean, it didn't even look like there were any women in the photo, right?
No, it was the whole football team, and he was just
Yeah.
like up front and just
got his junk hanging.
had his junk hanging out, and it went unnoticed for.
Yo, what was his piece like, man?
Oh, I think they have it censored out, man. I couldn't get a good look, but
What's he packing?
Dude, you didn't try to zoom it?
But
You didn't throw that thing into Photoshop and just
yeah, but
blow it up?
it's just insane. Like, you know, what schools have turned into, adults not being adults, and this kid's life is going to be ruined because of a dare.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, it's almost as bad as the kids that were like sexting each other.
yeah. I mean, it's just,
Actually it's probably worse than that.
it just seems
I
like
don't know.
all the
It's hard
time
to
you just
judge.
turn around. It's
Yeah,
just
it's totally.
like you hear about this shit like more and more, and it's just like, God, like, do I really even want to bring children into this world? Like, what the fuck?
Or just don't fucking put them in public school.
Well, that too, but it's just like it's everywhere. Like, adults are just not adults. Like, it's, you know, it's insane. Like,
It's
how
like we've
things have
come so
changed
far.
since we were kids. You know, like how
It's like, and you would have like, especially regarding like sexual things like that. It's like we're not Puritans anymore.
right?
It's like you see a dick. Like, is it that offensive to see a dick?
Yeah. And it probably, like I said, it went unnoticed for so long. Like, one person caught it and brought it to like the school's
Yeah.
attention, and then they went like batshit crazy. We're like, let's call the cops. Let's like, what the fuck?
Get PC principal over here.
Yeah,
now.
yeah. Get PC principal in here right now.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, you
Yeah, like I feel like if I were growing up nowadays, I wouldn't fare too well.
no, seriously.
You'd probably be in jail.
Yeah, dude, because like fucking, I gotta say, dude, you guys, I don't know if you realize this or not, but I've probably mooned more people while being in a vehicle than anybody that you know.
Oh my god, dude.
Yeah.
Like than anybody that you know. Like, I mean, it's just like every opportunity like I had, I would just always be mooning people. You know.
Yeah.
You know what that makes you? A sex offender.
It's, you know, one of my favorite things to do at parties is to like go outside and then like knock on like a sliding glass door, and then while my balls are against the glass, so then like slowly but surely, everybody looks over one by one, is like, ah. That's one of my favorite
still
things
do
to
that, don't
dude.
you?
I do. I just did that at a party in I think like January or December. It was like,
You are how old?
yeah, dude, I'm 35 years old. It's like,
And that still hasn't grown up.
Yeah,
He
dude.
still thinks it's socially acceptable to like whip his junk out.
I'm just
In
saying.
public
You don't
places.
call the cops on you, man.
Well, dude, nobody was really that hurt, dude.
Did they feel sorry for you? Or
No.
like, oh, look at
It's,
that.
I
Look
mean,
at that.
dude. I mean,
Oh,
people.
look
Thought,
at oh,
dude,
that.
I'm sorry, people think it's funny, dude. It's funny to do shit like that.
But yeah, I mean, because
Yeah, or just like
It's what.
or we were talking about last time, like drawing a dick on someone's face, or like teabagging somebody. Although teabagging, one could argue it could be sexual assault, but it depends. If it's like you doing it to your bro,
yeah, like I mean, we would
it's just a
do.
little gay. That's all.
Dude,
I mean, we
are you
would
just
do-
rationalize. Are you rationalizing teabagging?
I never
dude?
did it,
You know, I was
or
like,
had it done to me.
high school football team,
I've
we
seen
would
it done,
always we would like haze the freshmen, like the freshmen or the sophomores, like whoever was the youngest. Like usually it was sophomores on the varsity team, and it was like tradition, you know. Like we would, you know, all right, hey, let's duct tape this kid to the goalpost and dump Gatorade on him, you know, or like
Yeah.
just
Oh,
do
you could
shit.
definitely not get away with that.
Oh hell no! Like nowadays, like parents will be down at the principal. Well, there's some tomfoolery going on here. well, you know, what's like, you know, it's like you can't do shit. Like kids are just a bunch of fucking pussies, and the parents and the adults.
I don't
are
blame
just,
the kids though, man. It's
Nah,
their
man,
parents.
it's these adults, man. Like they're insane. Like my sister works for the University of Maryland. She's in
got
residence
beer.
life, and like you should hear these kids. Like they're in college. They're freshmen. They're sophomores. They're juniors, and these parents are calling in, and it's like your kid's an adult. They're 18. It's time to let go a little bit. You know, it's time for them to grow up, and like, but it's like these parents still like.
You saying in college?
Oh yeah, I mean it's just insane. Like these parents are just, and adults, they're just not being adults and allowing kids to just grow the fuck up, you know,
Right.
and like
Yeah,
realize
I'm so glad I'm not in college anymore, man, because it looks terrifying.
like, yeah.
I mean,
I mean,
Hold on,
we talked about it a couple podcasts ago. What that one college where someone wrote Trump 2016 in chalk, and these kids get freaked out like, oh
yeah.
my god,
they get triggered, man.
yeah, they need their safe spaces, you know. I mean, Anyway, we're like ranting and raving.
I'm enjoying it.
Yeah.
You want some of this?
Oh,
Broski?
sure. I'll gladly partake.
Alex, smoke some of the ganj. Alexis.
Smoke some with old Rick James. Do we have any musicians die this week?
Yes.
Oh, there was some guy.
Actually,
what's
fucking John Stab died.
Yeah. I never really listened to them very much.
Yeah, government issue, man. They're fucking, they're DC punk legends.
Mm.
So, and I know, like, I've seen John Stab at like a number of shows in Baltimore throughout the years. And like I think like 3 or 4 years back, I saw like the latest band that he was playing in. I don't remember the name. And I've been listening to some government issues since I was a teenager.
Yeah.
So also he used to work at like Record and Cape Traders for a while too. Like I think for a long while, like a few different locations. But and then he also worked. He was the door guy at Phantasmagoria when that club was around.
Nice.
So yeah, it sucks.
Bummer.
How old was he?
I would guess that he was probably around like early 50s. Because government issue, like I believe they started around like 80, 81, I believe, and so they were around that same period as Minor Threat and Bad Brains.
Shit, man. That's a bummer.
Yep.
All right, well, let's move on to some more news. So it's been reported that Facebook has been found to be, and this is according to an ex-employee, correct?
Yeah. I guess they were saying like former employees for Facebook basically would. Let me pull up the docs here. But I mean, we all kind of knew this was true, that they were kind of like censoring any like right wing or conservative news, like anything that was trending, they would squash, and then anything like that was not trending, they would try to create like trends, even when there was like real stories that were trending.
They would specifically target like conservative stories, right?
Mainly, yeah, like
So
conservative or right wing
like,
or
right.
like any kind of like libertarian leaning, and it was citing some examples, mainly like anytime like Rand Paul would be trending, or anytime there'd be some like major
They said something about CPAC.
yeah, I think like his speech, it was trending in real time, and they like kiboshed it,
Yeah.
They were like, and then
Which, I mean, it's obviously it's well within their rights to do so, but
I mean, they're just doing
it's just
the same.
don't lie and say that these are just like legitimately the most popular stories right now. Just say it's basically an editorial,
right? Exactly.
It's editorialized.
I mean, they're more or less doing what like mainstream media does, is
yeah,
everything's filtered through. So I mean,
but that's kind of the beauty of something like Twitter, is like you can get literally any hashtag, I believe, except maybe like racial slurs trending.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think you get hashtag N-word going there, but
No, I think there's some.
But I mean, you can have hashtag Trump or hashtag Rand Paul is awesome or whatever the hell you want, and if it's popular,
organic.
it's gonna be up there. As far as I know, although it's possible they're fucking with it too. I don't know, but
I mean, we've talked about this before. I mean, we all kind of knew it was probably true, and now it just reaffirms what we already thought, that Facebook is. It's not nearly.
Yeah, I mean, if they're doing this, then they're probably, because this applies to that little box of stories on the top right.
Yeah.
So I mean, if they're doing it to that, more than likely they're doing it to your news feed. They're doing it to, because like I see it all the time. Different.
Yeah, this is just to clarify.
pages.
This was just like the trending, like anything trending.
Yeah, it was. Well, there's that little box on the side, and it has like little headlines, right?
Yeah,
And,
exactly.
It says trending at the top, and the impression is that these are the most popular things.
Let me look into this some more, and
But look into it.
or just like, oh, cool.
Oh,
let me look, like let me see what everybody's talking about.
But I mean, if they're doing that, then who's to say they're not manipulating your news feed? Who's to say they're not saying, well, this is some right-leaning or conservative-leaning or libertarian-leaning article. We're not gonna give it as much reach as this fucking pro-Obama article or pro-Bernie article or whatever, you know?
Definitely. I think like things...
or Justin Bieber article.
Or Justin Bieber.
Yeah, Bieber's getting more
Or
reach.
Kim Kardashian article. Or, dude, that's what we need to do. Just start posting Kim Kardashian stories.
Yeah.
But like the headline is like a Kim Kardashian headline, and then the interior is just like an
taxation
actual
is theft.
Yeah, taxation is theft. Dude,
Yes.
that's a great idea. We should do that. Oh.
Yeah, I mean, you just gotta go around the system.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, I mean, we all kind of knew it was true, though. I mean, Facebook is just. I mean, it seems like we were talking about last week. It's just like bubbles, you know. Like it seems like maybe a couple years ago, it seemed like I had more reach amongst my friends, you know, and I would see more what they're posting and vice versa. And it seemed like I'd get into more conversations and debates, or not debates, but just like it seemed like it had more reach. And now it just seems like it picks and chooses, like, you know, if I post something political or something libertarian, it seems like, or anything, or news, or it just seems to focus on like certain friends are getting that, you know?
Well, yeah. I mean, usually it's the friends that most often comment on your shit or like your shit.
That's true too, but then every now and then you put something out there that might not be what I normally post, and then it seems like people that don't normally like or comment just come out of the woodwork.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
So, what's your rationale for that?
I'm thinking.
Can you give me like an example?
All
so
right.
If you post like a Happy Mother's Day shit, you're gonna get like random people that would never comment on something else.
Well,
yeah,
like, let's put it this way. So
because
I'll get people commenting that never comment on the majority of my posts, which are political.
Yeah.
And
maybe
then,
they just don't like politics.
Yeah, maybe. I've always wondered.
Maybe.
You know, it's like that could be it.
Well, I wouldn't say it's that, because case in point, like, all right, so I just posted, I don't know, it was like last night, and my buddy who was like, I mean, granted, I don't know where he's stationed now, but he was in the Air Force with me. Now he's in the Army. I posted this shit like, it was just a stupid meme. Free Mother's Day meal Sunday, May 8th, 2016 at Chick-fil-A.
Oh yeah, that was pretty funny.
Like, it was stupid, but like, out of the, well, my one buddy posted, like, commented, but he was huge Ron Paul, like, and would follow me a lot, and like we would, you know, go back and forth, like just commenting or posting articles. But it seems like he's fallen off now. Maybe he's just not as active on Facebook anymore. But it's kind of like, how is he like reacting to this? Is like in first time in months, and I've posted many other like more relevant things that are like in his wheelhouse.
Yeah.
That, you know what I mean? Where I think it just seems like it cuts off. I don't know. Like it's not reaching as many people as it used to.
Yeah, that's no doubt. I mean, Facebook. I feel like you used to be able to reach. Or I know you used to be able to reach a lot more people on Facebook. You know, I mean, I remember getting on Facebook and seeing everything that everybody posted, and you know, it was just coming up in real time.
Right.
It was, or at least it was a much higher percentage. I felt like it was nearly everything. And, you know, that's just not the case at all anymore. It was definitely a better way to spread information, you know.
Yeah, I mean, to an extent. Because, like, when people just, like, spam post shit all day, that got kind of annoying, but...
It didn't get annoying for me. Like, I liked kind of just seeing everything that everybody posted.
Yeah.
It's, like, I felt like I was just getting a maximum, like, an optimal amount of information, you know? And, you know, I could sort through it, and that was cool. It's better than, like, being on there and then just seeing the same shit all day, you know? So.
Interesting. All right, so, so the FDA has just passed a law or passed a regulation or whatever the fuck they do. Basically classifying vaporizers and e-cigs as tobacco products. And what this means is that they're going to have to, all companies that are in this market are going to have to get their products reapproved for market. And this process could cost up to $1 million per product. And so this is basically just like a gift for the tobacco companies because
For,
now
for big tobacco companies.
which is most tobacco companies.
Yeah.
Because they have the money to get these things approved. They have that ability. Whereas, I mean, there's a million. I'm sure there's millions of different or thousands of different vape companies out there. Are you vaping over there?
No, I was just like looking up the
So yeah,
the
there's
article.
there's a whole bunch of different vape companies out there that maybe start off as like mom and pop entities, like, or just very small businesses, and they can't afford $1 million for one product.
doubt.
Maybe
Yeah.
for all their products. Maybe.
Totally, man. It's gonna just totally crush that thriving economy.
Right. And so, see, this is where the deceit lies. Is that this. It's not a bill, but this law or these set of laws or regulations masquerade as being in the public interest, in the public health interest. But what they're really going to do is just dissuade people from using number one, using vaporizers, which are actually not tobacco products, and from what we know right now are a lot healthier.
Right.
And so,
I mean, they're not risk free.
They're certainly not risk free.
But
if
they're
you're a
far
guy
more
that
safer.
smokes cigarettes,
There's far more safer option.
Right.
Far more safe.
Far more safe. Yeah, it's a safer option.
far more safe.
Far more safer. Safest. Safer.
But yeah, and I know many people who have used vaporizers or vapes, whatever, to quit smoking actual cigarettes. They were able to transition off to them because some of them you can actually put nicotine into them, and you can regulate the amount of nicotine, but they're not tobacco. They don't have all the other rest of the chemicals in there. So yeah, I mean, not only are you dissuading people from vaping now, or limiting the market for vaping, and probably increasing the price of doing it, but you're also just giving more money to the tobacco companies so they can keep pushing the cigarettes,
Yeah.
Yeah,
which is what they're supposed to be fighting against.
I mean, basically, vaping stores are pretty much going to go out of business in the coming months to year or so. I mean,
Well, yeah, but you'll see Marlboro come out with their own vaping system,
right? You'll just go to
or they'll spin off some little side company so you don't know it's Marlboro. And be like, oh, look, here's a cool new vape. Oh, this is more expensive than the gas station one. Oh, well. I mean, I think vaping's retarded. Don't get me wrong, but
Yeah.
Obviously I don't agree with the government having any part in stopping it. I think people just need to realize it looks retarded.
Yeah, I think vaping looks dumb, but at the same time, it's like, if people want to do it, whatever.
Yeah,
this shit's fucked up, dude. When you think about it too, it's like we're like conditioned to not really think about this, dude. But I mean, if you wanted to, why couldn't you just grow tobacco in your yard and sell cigarettes? Make your own cigarettes.
Dude, you can't even sell cigarettes that someone else made.
how hard is it to grow tobacco?
You get choked out.
I mean, I don't know, dude. I've never. I mean, but that's the point. It's like we've never had the opportunity because, you know what I mean. It's like.
I mean, I'm sure you could set up like a hydroponic system or something the same way you'd grow weed, right?
Yes.
Yes. All right. Confirmation. Alex found the appropriate doc to confirm this. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, why can't you grow anything that you fucking want?
Yeah, it's just seeds.
Why can't you grow fucking mushrooms?
God put it here. Someone put it here.
Why can't you fucking brew LSD in your bathtub?
Right. I just want to. Everything I want to do is illegal.
Brew LSD.
No, it's insane. It's just gonna. Oh man, it's gonna.
But I think the thing that annoys me the most is like if you come out and say something about this, people will be like, "Yeah, but vaping is unhealthy," and it's first of all, it's besides the point.
Yeah.
And
vaping's annoying. I can't stand all it.
And even if it was the point, by making vaping, like I said before, by making vaping harder to do or more expensive, you're just going to encourage people to do something that is demonstratively more harmful, which is smoking cigarettes. You know?
Yeah. I mean, but maybe that's what the machine wants.
Maybe.
More cancer treatments, more people with cancer, more hospital costs, healthcare costs, you know?
Maybe. Or it's big tobacco just gave someone a shitload of money in the FDA. Which is probably more likely.
Perhaps.
Okay, next thing on the agenda. So women are now eligible for selective service, which means that they can be drafted if World War III starts.
Yeah.
So do you think that's true equality? Do you think we're just being progressive?
I think, yeah. I mean, sure, men and women will be equally oppressed, but
Equally enslaved.
equally impressed. But this doesn't make us any more free, you
Right.
know. So
The fact that you can be inscripted, I mean, that's just, yeah. Like,
totally,
I'm
yeah.
totally against
It's
any
state-enforced
draft
slavery,
or
yes.
that you must serve the state. And that's a requirement. It's bullshit.
Yeah. Although, I mean, I think we've talked about this argument before, but there's an argument for, like, full conscription at all times because it would make people less likely to vote for people that will send us to war. Like, if everybody had to be in the army all the time, you'd be far less likely to, you know, want to go into wars that are not necessary. I basically just said that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
They'd always find ways.
I mean, I'm not saying I advocate for it, but if you think about it, it's like...
Sure, dude.
What?
Sure, I believe you.
I've heard, like, it's like a pseudo-libertarian argument, essentially. Just basically, the point of it is, like, it will make people way more skeptical to support war. You know, it's a lot easier to fucking put a bumper sticker on your car than it is to fucking pick up a rifle and get on the front lines. You know? So, like, a lot of these people are, you know, it's just all talk. And if you make them walk the walk, they'll be like, maybe I'm not that into war. Maybe I'm not...
Well, the only argument I can think of for it is to, you know, if women were subjected to, you know, maybe then people will get more upset and talk about ending the draft totally.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So, because I mean, ultimately, I think we do want to end the draft totally. Of course, we.
I mean,
well,
there is, as
well.
of now, there is no draft.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But,
I'm
but
saying,
like,
if-
selective service potentially.
Well,
I mean,
well,
it's kind of
but
like
what
a
I'm arguing
quasi-draft.
for, or what? Not what I'm arguing for, but what this argument is saying is like, not only do we have selective service, but we actually, everybody has to serve in the military,
Yeah,
and then so people will be far less likely. I mean, like for example, like Israel does that. Now, I mean, you know, there's constantly conflicts between them and the Palestinians, but you don't really see Israel like getting into other conflicts. You know, they're not like going over into like fucking Lebanon, unless they're like fighting Hamas or whatever. But you know, they're not the empire. They're not like going, you know, over into Russia or whatever. Like they stay in there and they defend themselves.
Yeah, I still want to be for it because it's slavery.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately it's slavery. So
Yeah. So.
Anything
I mean, there
else
is
you
some like, I mean, there is somewhat of a point to that. I mean, you know, based on the political climate that is today, you know, if you had, you know, all these members of Congress and the Senate, and they're just all a bunch of blowhards and want to go to war and all these hardcore neocons. But if it truly affected them, like, hey, my Ivy League, you know, my kid who's in some Ivy League school, you know, if he might get drafted and he'll have to go over there to, you know, Durkistan or whatever and have to, you know, there is a argument to be made that they'd be less likely to, but you know,
Yeah,
I mean,
still not
they're
worth
the
the
political
risk, right?
class will always find a way to skirt the system or to you know, I mean, and that's one thing I in 2012 when Ron Paul called out, who was it, Newt Gingrich, and like he basically, it was just like, in other words, basically called him out for being a draft dodger, you know, and being the most warmongering of, you know, just being a neocon. And
Yeah.
it's like, well, when I was drafted, I was a doctor and was like, I went, where were you? And he was like, called him out.
Yeah.
And like Ron Paul's like, I have, a bunch of chicken hawks,
Yeah.
that basically when it was their turn to quote unquote serve, they found ways to, but and they're the most warmongering, they're a bunch of chicken hawks, But so there is an argument to be made about that, but still, I'm just not for it at all, though. But yeah, I mean there is a point, there is a point to that.
Right. Speaking of like draft dodging, I mean it's somewhat related, but dude, I hope like all the people that threaten to go to Canada actually like do go to Canada.
It's never gonna happen, but yeah, of course that would be cool.
Dude, I get so annoyed when I see that shit. I'm just, cause yeah, you see it every election. It's like whoever they don't want to win, they're like, oh, I'm definitely going to Canada. And now it's like people really don't want Trump to win. So if he wins, like maybe they might actually do it. I don't know.
I don't think we should be annoyed. We should just start laughing anytime somebody says that. Just like laugh at them.
I don't think they would do it though.
Well, normally I see it on Facebook, but
yeah,
I mean it's
like you're not going nowhere.
You ain't going nowhere.
It's like, yeah. Most people that post that, they've never been outside the country.
Yeah.
It's like you've never voluntarily decided like, hey, I'm gonna go on vacation over there. And it's like, well, I'll be damned if Trump gets elected, I'm moving to Canada. It's like, motherfucker, you've barely even left your own home state,
Right.
Yeah.
It's like you've never like gone on any road trips more than 6 hours. You're just
I feel
up
like
and
every
leave.
year though, people think they're novel in saying that.
Yeah.
Like they don't remember that. Like everybody said that last year, dude.
Yeah.
Like yeah, we get it. Like I don't know.
Just like peace.
Yeah, get out of here,
That's
bitch.
another reason.
If you don't like it, you can move to Somalia.
Yeah.
Another reason to be a libertarian for Trump.
Dude, speaking of the Somalian thing you just said, I've been seeing like a lot, like random people who normally I don't see as like being that politically active, like, but they'll occasionally post like a pro Bernie thing or whatever.
Yeah.
But like, and it's sort of like it's a negative thing, but it has a silver lining the way I see it. But like I saw a bunch of like criticisms of like libertarian stuff, like the stupid criticisms, like, who's gonna build the roads?
Who build the roads?
Who's gonna put out a fire?
Yeah, it'll be like Somalia.
Who's gonna put your house out if it's on fire? Shit like
Who's
that.
gonna wipe your ass?
Yeah.
But the fact that it's even necessary to address libertarianism, even if it's like in a very
derogatory
or like pedestrian kind of way,
yeah,
or is, I mean, at least it's like on the radar.
Yeah, I mean
that's at least people are talking about it, and like I always make a point to jump in those threads.
There's something to be said about that. Yeah, definitely. Because I was just at my barber this past Saturday, and yeah, he gets it. Like he definitely agrees with me on like against the war machine and imperialism and the fact that we maintain the empire and that we're and we agree on like crony capitalism, this and that, but we like diverge when it comes to the role of government. And like he has a railing because it's like a basement barbershop, and he has this railing out front, and it really needs to be like rewelded, fabricated, like he needs a brand new railing. It's been falling apart. So he asked me, he's like, hey Alex, like you know a lot of welders, a lot of do you have anybody that could recommend to do this for me? So I was like, yeah, I'll get. So I was talking to him the last time I was there, and one of my customers, I told him, I said, hey, did you reach out to my barber? Like, he's got a welding job. He's like, yeah, I called him a couple times, left messages. So I'm getting my haircut, I'm talking to him, and he's just like, oh, yeah, well, he's like, I'm applying for, like, some federal grant, like, Main Street. I don't know what government bureaucracy he's applying, but it's some federal grant to basically rehab like your facade of your business, like if it's like a Main Street. And anyways, so he's like, yeah, if I put up half, the federal government will give me the additional like funding, like half, so I can refurbish.
Did you turn
the front.
and say, dude, taxation is theft?
Well, at first I was like, well, Bill, you're welcome, like just kind of fucking with him. I was like, hey, you're not gonna thank me? He's like, what? And he was just kind of. And then there was another guy waiting in the lot, like in the shop, and he kind of was like, you're welcome. And like a couple people started laughing. I was like, yeah, you know, like because I pay my taxes, you know, I'm
paying
fixing the facade of your barber shop here. And he's just like, well, you know, don't you think that's a good thing? And I'm like, no, not really. How about if you just keep the fruits of your labor and you can be able to do this with your own money? Or I said, why the fuck do you need, why does this have to be why can't this be at the local level? Like, you got to, you know, like going through all this bureaucratic bullshit, like to secure a loan. Like, why couldn't you just, or a grant, like, couldn't this be done through, I don't know, I'm basically, so then he's just like,
he just fucking pay for it himself?
Yeah,
right, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But then I'm getting to, exactly. So I'm getting to the whole, like, I'm like, all right, we're not going to get, and he's like, well, you got to agree there's some role, like education. Like, and I was like, no, because at one time, I don't know. It's just like, there's still, like you said, like this faith in the state, like so much. And it's just like, and then if you bring up like, well, no, you can keep your money. He's like, oh, you don't believe in taxes, and like and then they compare to things like
theft, bro.
Well, right, but then they go back to like, well, things weren't great 150 years ago. It's like, yeah, we had
fucking horse-drawn carriages, dude.
Yeah, we had dirt roads, and you know, blacks and whites had their own bathrooms. Like, no, I don't want to go back to that shitty shit. But like, like I don't want to go back to that. But I'd like to go back to the concept of like, you know, you earn your own, you like. You keep your paycheck, you keep the fruits of your labor,
and then you buy what you need.
And you buy what you need, and you invest, and you can save, and your money isn't like debased, and you know, like you're not working these ungodly hours just to fucking keep ahead of inflation. Like, I don't know. It's just like
the other part of that is like you get like. As soon as you bring up libertarianism, it always goes like right to the fucking bottom where it's like
who built the
who's gonna like
who's gonna teach?
Like, first of all, dude,
the same fucking people that are doing
if
it
Gary
now.
Johnson gets elected, we're not gonna go around tearing up all the roads, you know?
No.
Like,
it's not gonna be like, well, Gary Johnson's being sworn in, and next thing you know, like the next day, it's like total fucking chaos.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like dogs and cats. Like total chaos. Yeah. Like, I mean, let's be fucking real here. Like, let's stay afloat on the reality boat. You know?
Yeah, I mean, you know, when we talk about, you know, the practical effects of like maybe having a libertarian president, you're talking about, you know, lower taxes. You're talking about less foreign intervention.
Yeah.
You're talking about more sensible economic policy. You know, we're not talking about, you know, burning down schools.
Right? They're private now. Burn the public schools. Like, no, but I think maybe offering parents, like, hey, like...
Dude, like I'm picturing this in my head, though. Like,
right?
As soon as we get sworn in, there's just, like, schools.
Sworn in. First day at office.
Next period, libertarians, like, burning down schools.
Yeah.
Just jackhammering up roads.
Yeah, day one, first day, libertarian president in the Oval Office. Executive order. I want all of you to go out there and burn down all the public schools. Just burn them down. Okay? I mean, what the fuck? Yeah. But it's like, you know, it's just that knee jerk, well, who's going to do it? I'm like, the same fucking people that are doing it now, but it's going to be better. You know, you're going to have more options. You as a parent are going to be able to, like, well, I can send my kid to private school, homeschool. I could teach them myself. I could send them I can voluntarily decide to pay to this public school and we all chip in, whatever. Or you're going to have more options and it's going to be better. Like, I don't know. It's sometimes tough, like, getting through on some issues, like you said. But just the fact that it's being brought up is a good thing.
Yeah, totally.
So we're making.
That's like ready to pass out over here.
You all right, man?
I'm cool.
One more thing before we go, though. Apparently, Penn Jillette is going to be hosting the next libertarian debate.
Nice.
I'm not sure what channel that's going to be on. Is it Fox News again, or not Fox News? Fox Business?
Yeah, I don't know, dude.
FBN.
We're gonna have to keep everybody posted. But yeah, I saw it show up in my news feed a couple of days ago. But probably Fox Business, I'd assume. Probably on the Stossel show.
Okay, we
got to do some research on that.
We should talk about where it probably should be, dude.
Yeah.
Probably should have looked this up before.
We probably should have did some I should have gotten the docs.
Yeah, you should have, dude.
You had one job. And then
Oh
we skip
man,
the
well I
docs.
got too many docs.
Well, anyways, I'm sure we'll post about it before then, and if I can, I'll try to get it streaming that night on the website. So until next time, live free.
We can make the break the power, break the power. Statism's blood break, the blood that is shed. Drenching the flags of the tax bombs in red. Poisons by a few at the expense of the many. Soldiers and gods in a death machine. You can't justify killing by economic gain. For God, country, and democracy. You can put freedom in gunpoint in a foreign land. You support the troops, then bring them home. I believe that you will do the best for you. And I believe that we have the power, have the power. I hate the state, and I know I'm a slave. We can make the break the power, break the power. Society owes individuals nothing more than non-interference with natural rights. Once a virtuous person fully comprehends the non-aggression principle, the violence of the state becomes obsolete.